Good evening and happy Mother's Day. I'm Asher Wildman. Time now for your top stories and weather in 90 seconds. Survivors and parents of those lost in the Pulse nightclub attack are calling for a criminal investigation into the onePulse organization. This comes after the organization was unable to reach an agreement with the nightclub owners for funding a permanent memorial site. Many are demanding to know where their donations have gone. Members of the union representing Reedy Creek firefighters will vote on a new contract this week. If approved, the agreement with the new board of Disney's special district would include a $10,000 increase to starting pay. And happy Mother's Day to all. To celebrate moms across Central Florida, moms were invited to visit the Lou Gardens for free. The weather was perfect and families were able to stroll through the gardens together. Now let's get a check of your weather with certified meteorologist Chris Gilson. Chris, it was a nice day out there for moms, whether it was brunch, Lou Gardens. It was a nice day today.
Absolutely gorgeous. Maybe a beach day. Beautiful for that as well. Many folks still out along the coast here at the 5 o'clock hour in Daytona Beach from the Ocean Deck restaurant. You can see those beautiful blue skies and that beautiful water there along Daytona Beach. Temperatures there at the airport 82, 81 in New Smyrna. Upper 80s in DeLand, 85 in Sanford. We made it to 90 today in Orlando. Right now it's 86 in Orlando and Kissimmee. Overnight we'll hold on to the quiet conditions. No need for the rain gear for those evening plans. Temperatures down into the 60s by daybreak tomorrow. Then high temperatures return to the upper 80s to near 90.
On this Mother's Day, mothers of Pulse victims, those wounded and their family members are demanding a criminal investigation into the onePulse organization. This comes after the onePulse Foundation was unable to reach an agreement with nightclub owners Barbara and Rosaria Poma for the donation of the property for a permanent memorial site. Those who spoke outside the City Hall said they have had enough of waiting and want answers as to where money has been going.
You got to ask the tough questions. Ask the onePulse Foundation, what have you been doing for 7 years? What have you been doing? There's no memorial.
You know, I'm speaking from a different perspective. I am no longer no one's cash cow. You are not going to continue to make money off of us, nor those that have been killed. And I think the biggest issue here is that that's the part that's not being talked about enough, is how much victims turn into, this tragedy turned into a profit. I became someone's meal ticket, and I'm not receiving any part of that meal.
Many stressed they felt used by the onePulse organization as they did not receive help after the tragedy. Last week, onePulse said they plan to provide an update in the coming weeks on where they plan to move forward with a new site. Now, this was just handed to me. We do have a little bit of breaking news here on Spectrum News 13. A statement provided from Barbara Poma. She's one of the owners. It says in part here, the decisions we have made related to the onePulse Foundation have been difficult and personal. While I recognize and respect these individuals' grief, that should not serve as a free pass for intentionally spreading lies about us. It is hurtful, undeserved, and helps no one. We'll have much more later tonight on Spectrum News 13. Moving on, 2 people are dead after what the Orange County Sheriff's Office says was a targeted attack. This happened Sunday morning at the Arium Apartments on Bastille Lane. Deputies tell us they received a 911 call at the complex but did not specify what the call was about. Once there, they found a man and woman in their 40s hurt. They were taken to the hospital but later died. The Sheriff's Office says the investigation is in its early stages. They have not released any information on the victims' injuries or if they are looking for a suspect. An Orlando woman has died after being hit by a car in Polk County. It happened on Chalet Suzanne Road in Lake Wales. Investigators say 27-year-old Latasha Renee Kelly had pulled over during an argument with her passenger. Both got out of the car and began walking down the street. Kelly was hit by a car driving along. She was taken to a nearby hospital where she later died. Lake Wales police are now investigating. A person is in critical condition following a shooting in Melbourne Saturday night. Let's show you where this happened. Police tell us it happened just before 9:30 on Cedar Drive near Lipscomb Street. Officers were called about gunshots and a possible victim. When they got to the scene, they found the person who had been shot. They were taken to the hospital, and police say the suspect in the case is unknown, but was seen leaving the area in a white car. If you have any information on this case, you're asked to call the police. Orlando City Council is preparing to tackle a complicated problem this week. unsheltered homelessness. The city's senior advisor on homelessness and social services is set to present an action plan for council members and the mayor during a workshop Monday at 10:30 a.m. Spectrum News 13's Curtis McLeod joins us with what's motivating the city to address this issue.
Well, Asher, the Homeless Services Network of Central Florida is reporting a dramatic uptick in homelessness for our region. In the Orlando, Sanford, Kissimmee Metro, 75% more people are homeless now compared to before the coronavirus pandemic started. Now, specifically, Central Florida's unsheltered homeless population is on the rise. Now, that means people living on the streets, in parked cars, or in parks, basically any place not intended for people to live. Of course, that data for that uptick does not include people doubled up with other families or staying long-term in motels or hotels. So the true picture of homelessness in our area is likely even more serious than the numbers reflect. Now, the Homeless Services Network of Central Florida reports skyrocketing rental prices the last few years are a driving factor.
Not having enough money to get in a place, even though I get a check, I don't have no $1,700 a month, and that's just rent.
Now, a recent Zillow report found the Orlando, Sanford, Kissimmee Metro is the worst housing market in the country for severely cost-burdened renters. Those are the folks that may be paying more than half of their income on rent. Spectrum News recently spoke with the lead researcher behind the Zillow report. He told us changes to the federal government's Housing Choice Voucher program could help maximize benefits for more families. But ultimately, a big part of the problem comes down to an affordable housing shortage.
I think the long-term, more sustainable solution to the affordability challenges that we're facing are going to come from building more affordable units. There's a massive housing unit deficit in this country, huge shortages everywhere, and that's what's causing prices and rents to remain so high and so stubbornly high.
Now, Florida lawmakers recently passed the state's new Live Local Act to help speed up the development of affordable housing units in certain areas. But some local leaders are a bit skeptical, saying that this new law likely won't really help the people most in need. Now, the bill defines affordable housing as housing designated for residents earning up to 120% of area median income. In Central Florida, for a family of four, that's about $94,000 a year. Now, tomorrow, Orlando City Council will hear a workshop presented by the city's senior advisor on homelessness and social services. The goal of that workshop is to come up with an action plan to address the area's rise in unsheltered homelessness. I'm Curtis McLeod, Spectrum News.
Here at Spectrum News 13, we want to wish all of the mothers a happy Mother's Day today, including our very own you see here, for everything you do and have done for us yesterday, today, tomorrow. We appreciate you all. Happy Mother's Day. Honoring their heritage and sharing it across Central Florida, how this year's Asian Cultural Festival came together and the message behind the celebration. Now being joined once again by Chris Gelson. Chris, that was a beautiful photo, you and your mother. If there was ever an idea of what a teenager looked like in the 90s, you're it, my man, because it's also the 90s in the temperatures.
Yeah, that was a good transition there. Great transition, Asher. I don't even know what to say after that. But anyhow, we do have plenty of sunshine out there right now. How long this quiet stretch of weather will continue when we come back with the weather on the ones.